you may end up getting into a long drawn out conversation, but everything that you're talking about in this conversation may be some stuff that you've written in a journal, stuff that you've been asking God about, angels trying to get guidance, or you may have something going on in work. You may have had, you know, betrayal or a heartbreak or something like that, and you're just having this conversation. And it's like they have, and it's not so much they have the right things to say, but it's like they are an expert at what you're talking about. I have chills. I literally have chills. What's going on? I'm AnokhiTheOne, back with another video. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the 5 ways to know if you've encountered an angel. Now, I have had multiple angel encounters. You're going to hear about my angel encounters either before or after this video, but several. And I've also, like, when I was beginning this journey, I would get books about the topic because I wanted to focus more on the positive energies and my support, right? And this is a wonderful book. I don't know if you can see it, but it's called Angels All Around Us. And in my observation, with the encounters that I've had, as well as like seeing videos about people talking about how they've encountered angels or reading books and different things like that, come up with 5 ways to identify if you have encountered an angel. Some of you are going to be able to go back in your memory and be like, wait, that might have been an angel, right? So here is the number 1 sign, not the most important, just the first. The first sign is you encounter them right after you've asked for guidance, assistance, or you've been going through a very troubling time where you're losing hope and different things like that, right? So it's like very specific. Like, what's going on? I'm AnokhiTheOne, back with another video. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the 5 ways to know if you've encountered an angel. Now, I have had multiple angel encounters. You're going to hear about my angel encounters either before or after this video, but several. And I've also, like, when I was beginning this journey, I would get books about the topic because I wanted to focus more on the positive energies and my support, right? And this is a wonderful book. I don't know if you can see it, but it's called Angels All Around Us. And in my observation, with the encounters that I've had, as well as like seeing videos about people talking about how they've encountered angels or reading books and different things like that, come up with 5 ways to identify if you have encountered an angel. Some of you are going to be able to go back in your memory and be like, wait, that might have been an angel, right? So here is the number 1 sign, not the most important, just the first. The first sign is you encounter them right after you've asked for guidance, assistance, or you've been going through a very troubling time where you're losing hope and different things like that, right? So it's like very specific. Like, it's like you may be asking, for example, there's a time where I got headbutt in the face. This is last year, playing basketball, and I was kind of upset. But I was just like, I'm going to accept this, you know, whatever the case may be. I just don't want to have a huge scar on my face, right? Because it was like this, a golf ball right under my face. And I'm like, I'm thankful that, you know, nothing went wrong with my eye, but I just would really appreciate if my eye did not have a scar, right? And literally I think it was the same day or the next day, the very next morning, I went to went to the grocery store, and it's interesting because it happened playing basketball, right? I got headbutt playing basketball, went to the grocery store, had to go to the grocery store looking like a battered woman with a big band-aid across my face swollen, and you could see the blood coming through. That's how it was, just terrible. And when I got to the checkout, I saw this basketball, and it's very nice leather basketball. I love basketball. I love basketball. So when I say a basketball, especially a brand new looking one, it was at Kroger. They don't even sell basketballs there. So I'm just like in awe. I'm just looking at this basketball. It was sitting next. It was the self checkout. So that caught my attention. And I'm looking around like, did somebody leave their basketball? Because if they left it, you know what I'm saying, they ain't coming back for it. You know what I'm saying? I'll ask somebody, see if I can have it. But yeah, I'm thinking all this. And then this tall basketball looking guy got basketball clothes on, and he picks up the basketball, and then he looks at me and he was like, you know, you should really get coconut oil for that, for that sore. And I was just like, really? It was awkward, because like most normal people, they just kind of, you know, try to ignore it because they have no idea what happened. You might have got hit. It might be an abusive relationship, all kinds of stuff. So most people just what is the word? Avoided me. Most people avoided me, tried to act like they didn't see it. No, this guy, he was just like, you know that scar, that big old thing on your face, you should get coconut oil for that. And I was like, okay. He was like, yeah, you should definitely get some coconut oil. And I was like, okay, thank you. And then I kept, you know, put my stuff up, and he just picked the basketball up and disappeared, right? And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get some coconut oil. And it wasn't until I got back in the car that I realized this is exactly what I had just asked for guidance on, to make sure that this doesn't become a scar, because I could have gotten like stitches and all that other stuff, and 9 times out of 10, if I would have got stitches, I would have had a scar, right? But I was guided to get that coconut oil, and I even looked up the properties of coconut oil and all this other stuff when I got in the car, and literally everything was just like, it helps with collagen in your face if you have some break skin, and helps with scarring. I was just like, but that's what it feels like, right? It feels like, and then when I got out, of course he's gone, and I'll go into other things. I may go into the next one. It seems like number 2, seems like they appear from nowhere and then they disappear. Okay. It's like, and a lot of times they're on foot, right? So when you have an angel encounter, the different angel encounters I've had, it's either clearly you're going to be in public. They're not about to pop up in your house. If they pop up in your house, you're going to call the po-po. Everybody's going to be confused. And you just, right? It has to feel natural. And it feels natural all the way up until you just really kind of think about it, and you'd be like, what? That was a little strange, right? So, for example, like if I'm sitting at a park, this has happened to me so many times, it's crazy. I may be sitting in a park and somebody just walks up to me, right? And I may be reading a book, so it really feels like they just popped up out of nowhere because my attention is in the book, and they catch my attention, and I'm like, okay, yeah, thanks. What's going on? And a lot of times the way they get my attention is kind of awkward. And I'll go into that because that's another one. But it's always by foot. I've never seen any of these encounters or anything like that with somebody in a car where they pause, they stop, they get out the car, and they get back in the car and they leave. No, it's literally always on foot. And then whenever I finish the conversation, whatever, it's like they maybe walk a couple steps and then they just, you don't see them no more. It's crazy. It's so fire. It's really kind of fire. But that's number 2. Number 3, they are socially awkward. Like I said in the first example, they're kind of socially awkward, right? So when they it's like they have this presence that is it feels like they're not from here. And you can't really put your finger on it until if you know that angels exist, you acknowledge that angels exist, or maybe you believe it's a spirit guide or whatever the case may be. Ancestor embodying someone to show you a message. However you feel, these things exist. It happens, right? So, and the more you're aware of it, the more you're comfortable with it, the more you're able to attract these encounters because you're not afraid. You're not shunning it away. A lot of people, some of the people that I've encountered, or angels or beings, however you want to call it, maybe celestial, you know, whoever, if you're into that, I don't know. But a lot of people, the way they come off, it could be off-putting. Even to me, there's been multiple times. A lot of times I'm kind of like, when they first come up to me, I'm like, what? Huh? Because it just be kind of weird. It just be a little off. Like the guy I said before, it's just like, most people try to be polite. They try to be, act like it's not, they don't see this big old golf ball on my face because I may be sensitive. But this guy just like has that whole social thing that everybody else, he ain't got it. He just said, look. And it was weird too, because now that I think about it, I looked around and nobody else seemed to have, I don't know, I feel like the way he was just in the middle of the aisle. It's just like straight to pointing at me. And it was weird because it really felt like a movie because nobody else was seeing this but me. And I'm just like, what? And straight to the point. Get you some coconut oil. Put some coconut oil on that and you'll be good. And a basketball player, dude, that's crazy, right? And he just disappeared after that. So that's number 3. A little socially awkward, may come off a little off-putting. And again, a lot of people, and I have almost been like, bro, what? No, excuse me, I don't want to talk to you. I have been like, I'm a very, what's that word? I'm not that friendly. I'm not that friendly. I'm friendly, but I'm not that friendly. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like that. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes, now that I know the signs and different things like that, I try to, overcome, because I'm very much a hermit. I'm very much to myself. So when people break that barrier and they get to talking to me, especially when it's just like that, I just be like, okay, yeah. But I encourage you guys to be a little more open with strangers. They want you to have stranger danger, but sometimes some of those strangers are angels. And that also makes me think about how, you should definitely treat people better that you don't know. Regardless, you should just treat people better that you don't know, that you've never seen, that you probably never will see again, because you never know. I mean, you could be talking to an earth angel, you could be talking to a guardian angel, you could be talking to an ancestor, or whatever the case may be, or just a person who may be in a lot of pain, and that little thing that you said to them makes them go off the edge. You just never know. So you should just really treat people better, okay? Just do that, okay? Number 4. They seem, now this number 4 is more so for angel encounters where you're having a longer conversation, right? Where it's not just a flyby, for example, with this guy or with this angel, whatever, this being, where it's just bust out coconut oil on your face that will answer your prayer. And that's the crazy thing too. It just be so on point. So with the longer conversations, I've had conversations with angels or these beings for hours. Okay. And so this applies to that kind of thing. So you may be, for example, at the park. Okay. And somebody comes up to you abruptly and they may say something to get your attention or something to make it kind of seem kind of normal for them to come up to you. They may comment on your shoes. They may say, I like that book that you're reading, or, something like that. And try to engage in conversation, right? And a lot of times they're awkward. So you kind of feel resistant a little bit, but at the same time they have this familiarity, which is number 4. They feel kind of familiar. And it kind of might off-put you because it's you feel kind of familiar, but at the same time, you're just busting out here. I know you're a stranger, but you feel familiar. And you may talk a little bit. And it's shortly, within a short amount of time, you are able to get into a deep conversation with this person, and you may talk to this person for hours, right? And the things that you talk about a lot of times end up being things that are things that you've been working on in your head. So I'm going to go through examples because I keep wanting to give examples, but this daggone video going to be very long. I already have a video with examples, but you may end up getting into a long drawn out conversation, but everything that you're talking about in this conversation may be some stuff that you've written in a journal, stuff that you've been asking God about, angels trying to get guidance, or you may have something going on in work. You may have had, betrayal or a heartbreak or something like that, and you're just having this conversation, and it's they have, and it's not so much they have the right things to say, but it's like they are an expert at what you're talking about. I have chills. I literally have chills. It's like they are experts and they have deep knowledge in the stuff that you are asking about. Like they have solutions, they have guidance, and it feels very natural, and it feels like this is somebody that is very familiar, that you've known for a long time. And the truth is, these people have been your guides for many lifetimes, so they very much are familiar, right? This may have been a brother in a past life, it may be a cousin or a lover or something, but now they're a guardian angel in this life and they're guiding you through this path or whatever. So it feels very familiar, but for a reason, because you are familiar with this person. So by the end of it, you walk away, and this is another sign, you walk away, is a bonus, I guess, feeling a sense of hope and weight lifted, right? It doesn't matter whatever the situation is, you just feel like you are able to talk to a good friend and you don't have the same worries. They make you feel very comfortable, and you just walk away with it feeling very safe and secure in life, right? And it's beautiful. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I've had so many magical experiences on this journey that I'm just like, people need to know about this. I don't well, I know why. And I would be talking about all this stuff, but I know why I don't share this type of stuff, but it's beautiful. It's really beautiful. And number 5, okay. I said this a little bit. They're very comforting, they're non-judgmental, and they're not religious. Okay, they're not religious, but sometimes they do use scriptures and different things like that to relay a message. Or, like, it just really depends on, you know, what you're on, really. It really depends on what you're on. They may be, like, they will come in whatever form of energy that you're on. Like, for example, if you're talking about, like, one of the most recent angel encounters, I sat there and let him watch a whole YouTube video of me playing basketball. I'm like, man, these fools, it don't matter how hard I beat these fools in basketball, they always say it's because I'm a girl, or they let me win. And I was like, I'm having this whole conversation, and he's relating different things to me through basketball terms and through, you know, different stuff like that. Just having this conversation. So it's just really cool. Like, and there's another situation about a year or so ago where it had to do with my studio, and somebody literally stealing the whole blueprint for my business, and it was just a lot, and it was pissing me off. I was really upset. I went to the park heated. Okay, I'm journaling, right? And all of a sudden, boom. You know, this guy pops up at the park, and we're having a conversation, and again, awkward, whatever, in the beginning, and to where I'm like, look, it's like, you be upset, trying to journal, and they'll keep, and like, hey, I'm like, would you leave me alone? And then it's crazy because you end up having a conversation about all the things that you were journaling, all the things that were on your heart heavy, and just giving you the perspective. And so that guy, he was more, you know, using scriptures and then also applying it to Whitney Houston and Prince. And it was just like, it's just a magical experience, right? It's just like unmatched, and it's fire. Like, when people go beyond the Bible and realize that God is still alive, these angels are still moving and still guiding you and in your world, in your space, and you acknowledge them and allow them to support you and to guide you and give you messages and different things like that, it's just magical. Like, you're living on a whole different just a lot of the stuff that people worry about and think about and all this other stuff, it just doesn't apply. It literally just doesn't apply. So I've given y'all the 5 signs. I'm gonna read them all out real quick for you. Okay. The first one is you encounter them right after you ask God for guidance, or you ask for, you know, guidance or something, or you're dealing with something that's heavy on your heart, heartbreak, somebody made it pass, you just losing hope. It happens a lot of times right after that. and then you have to think back and you're like, what they, right? That's number one, sign number one. Sign number two, they seemingly come out of nowhere, okay, on foot, and they disappear to nowhere on foot, right? And sometimes it doesn't even make sense how did you even get over here on foot? Like sometimes that's how it seems, okay? Number three, they're a bit strange, they're a bit awkward, and it's just kind of like, why are you here? What are you saying? It's almost like, and I'll show a clip from City of Angels, because this is very, very accurate. It's very accurate, because it's like, when you see them, it's almost like, oh, it's so deep. I got chills, man. When you see them, initially, it's awkward, almost like they're normally not seen or listened to, right? So that when you see them, it's just like, you know what is you, like, it's that kind of situation. It's just so, I'm gonna roll that clip after I finish this. Number four, they seem like a familiar old friend, because they are a familiar old friend. You can talk to them for hours and have a deep conversation, and they know exactly the guidance that you need. They don't try to tell you what to do, but it's like a guide. They give you guidance and solution. Well, have you thought about this, or have you thought about that? Is this, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? And then fifth, they're not religious, they're not judgmental, and they're very comforting. And you leave feeling weight lifted and hope in humanity, hope in, life on earth and all this other stuff, right? So I'll roll the clip from City of Angels, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Comment below if you've ever had an angel encounter after you've seen these 5 signs, and I will see you on the next video. Watch it.
Excuse me. Are you a visitor?
Yes.
Well, visiting hours have been over since 8.
Well, why do they have that?
What?
Hours. Doesn't it help the patient to be visited?
Well, who are you visiting, Mr. Messenger?
Right now?
Yeah.
You.
I don't need a visitor.
You're not ill?
No. I'm one of the doctors here.
Are you in despair?
I lost a patient.
You did everything you could?
I was holding his heart in my hand when he died.
And he wasn't alone.
Yes, he was.
People die.
Not on my table.
People die when their bodies give out.
It's my job to keep their bodies from giving out. Or what am I doing here?
It wasn't your fault, Maggie.
I wanted him to live.
He is living. Just not the way you think.
I don't believe in that.
Some things are true whether you believe in them or not.
How did you know my name? What's yours?
Seth.
Seth. You better get out of here, Seth. Security's gonna think you're a psych patient.